Hi, it's Mama Clark. Welcome to Yayo's Life, um, Healing with Mama Clark. It's a safe space for mothers who have experienced the loss of a child to learn, to grow, and to heal together. I'm waiting for other mothers to log in, but for now, it's just me. I am Mama Clark, and I am a Yayo. I have buried three of my eight children. Their names are listed on the screen: Stephante, Demarcus, and Stefan. I lost Stephante to being born too early, a premature related death. Demarcus was killed to community gun violence. He was murdered. And Stefan was killed to police violence. He was murdered. So that's what makes me a yayo. Um, I'm going to play a little theme song for us this morning. So let me pull this up. Okay, give me a second and thank you for your patience. So, how's everybody this morning? I woke up feeling energized, refreshed, and ready to go. I hope you guys can appreciate the plain face, no made up face today. But I'm just feeling good. I'm in a good space today. Um, I had some good news. I graduated from therapy. So my therapy, I've been in therapy since for the last year, and my therapist and I decided that it's time for me to move on, that I've graduated. So I'm setting good boundaries for my life. I've accepted the fact that I don't have to do everything or fix everything for everyone, but that I am the keeper of me, and uh, and I'm excited about that, you guys. So let me get our song going. Um, so it's by there it goes. Okay. So this is how I'm feeling today. Oh, well, that's an ad. Hold on. I'm ready to play it because this is the song. All right. Shout out to Sequoia for introducing me to this song. But this is really how I'm feeling. Hey, go get your blessing. I'd like to say hello to Jermaine Phillips. Thank you, Mama Jermaine, for sharing the space with us. And if you DM me your phone number, I will send you a link to join on the panel next time. No, what's so sad is that police violence is not just in the United States; it's a global pandemic um, that needs to be addressed. And mothers healing is also a global pandemic that we are addressing. It's time for the mothers to heal so that the families can heal, so the communities can heal, so that the cities, the states, the nations, and the countries can heal. So I'm doing my part. Where y'all at? Huh? Someone says they can't log in. I don't know. I'm going to put the link in the chat for mothers who would like to join in. You just copy this link. You just go to this link. So there's the link. Oh. We have Mama Francis calling in, interrupting the music, y'all. Mama Francis is interrupting the music, y'all. Say hi, Mama Francis. I just sent another link. So try that. I just sent it in the group chat. I mean, in the chat, in the comments. No, not in the group chat. On the Facebook. Go on Facebook. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye. Okay. So I'm gonna dig right in. We got a little bit more left of the song. So come on. It's your time. Hey, go get it. Go get your blessings. Hey, go get your blessings. It's your time. It's your time. It's not my time. Let's go get it. Hey, thank you, Mary Mary. Hey, thanks to Mary Mary for that beautiful song. Whoops. Okay, so now we're gonna go right in to the session for the day, and let me start off by sharing with you. We're working on step 7 for grief. It's grievers suffer guilt feelings. So many blame themselves after a loved one's death for the death itself or for faults in the relationship. We have all made mistakes, and sincere regret is the best response to them. However, self reproach out of proportion to our behavior affects our mental health and impedes our recovery. Close friends or a trusted counselor can aid us in confronting and dealing with guilt feelings, whether justified or exaggerated. So, we're going to go over, we're going to go over um, the releasing. So we're right now we're on releasing the regret. So how do we release the regret? Number one, it says to let go. If you keep going round and round in circles of feeling sad, depressed, and bad about yourself due to this regret, it may be time to let it go. You may need to accept that you made a mistake or that you wish things could have gone differently. Instead of getting down on yourself, at some point you must accept the situation and forgive yourself. So, um, that applies to me in the part with for Demarcus and for Stefan's deaths, um, where I was at in my life. I just wish things would have gone differently. I wish that I had been in a better place, in better situation and circumstances in my life, to where their lives would have been different. And so I hold a lot of regret for that. But it is time for me to let it go. So it says, if you have a hard time letting go of the regret, write a letter to the deceased person. Say the good things about the relationship and also what you wish you could have said or done. Put this letter in a special place or bury it in a special location. So, number one, that's going to be an assignment for us, for the yayos watching, and for anyone dealing with grief. It's a good exercise. Write a letter to the deceased person and go over the things that you feel remorse, regret, grief, or guilt about in that letter. Go over the highlights of the good things in the relationship. We don't always have to pay attention to the negative. It's time to go get our blessings. It's time for us to change our perspective and start looking at the positive things. Yes, our children, our loved ones are gone. Yes, we don't get to see them again in the natural. However, we had some good experiences. We had some laughs. We had some cries. We had some good times, and um, we can choose to let go of the regret, the remorse, and the grief and the guilt by writing them a letter and sharing those things. Number two, it says to release feelings of blame. Um, Recognize that there may have been factors which led to this specific regret. For example, given the circumstances, you may have been under incredible stress, financial difficulty, relied on faulty information, or been in a situation in which decision making was impaired. Release yourself from undue blame. Talk to someone who is unbiased to get a different perspective. You can talk to someone not involved, like a friend or a therapist. And lastly, say, and this is where I want us all to say, I want everyone to repeat after me who is watching. Even though this outcome was not what I would have liked, I did what I thought was best at the time and released myself from placing all the blame onto myself. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. I hope everyone said that. Number 3, you can forgive yourself. Resentment can make you a prisoner to your own negative emotions. Allow yourself to accept that you make mistakes and have lapses of judgment. It's not worth feeling awful every day or something you cannot change. Instead, learn to forgive yourself and practice different judgment next time. So, with just to share a bit, when Stefan died, being the second son that I buried, I was given a lot of information to where I could respond to his death in a negative way. And I chose not to act on the information I was given, but I chose to do it different. I chose to allow God to have his way. I chose not to take matters into my own hands. I chose to not be consumed with revenge or anger, but to allow God to have his way. And so, with that being said, I have a new outcome, and it's better. It also says, in order to forgive yourself, you say to yourself, and I would like everyone to repeat after me. And let me remind you that I'm saying and practicing and doing these exercises with you all. This is not like I'm teaching in class, but I am healing, I'm learning and growing with you all. So let's say to ourselves, I have suffered for the decisions I have made, yet I am willing to forgive myself and move on from this point forward. I allow myself to grow from this experience. Wow. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I got like goosey bumps all over my body right now. That's empowering. Admit, accept, and move on. So next we have coping with feelings of regret. So focus on this moment. Regret is a feeling based in the past. It's difficult to live your life in the past when it's actually happening in the present. Focusing on the moment means not being stuck on past experiences, thoughts, or thinking patterns. To help you tune in more to the present, bring your thoughts and awareness to now. Sit quietly and focus your mind on what's happening right now. With practice, you can train yourself to focus on something more productive than feelings of regret. Practice attending to your breathing. Focus on your breath, noticing your inhales and your exhales. So let's just practice that really quick. We'll do 3. And so we're going to inhale, hold it in, and then exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. After you do your breathing, sometimes that doesn't work. So you can tune into your senses. If you're feeling overwhelmed by negative feelings associated with regret and can't seem to get out of the cycle, turn to your senses. Chances are, if you're caught up in regret, you're not living presently. Focus on one sense at a time. For instance, start with sight and look around to observe what you notice. Really look with your eyes. Notice colors, textures, movements, and contrasts of light and dark. So right now I see the wall. I see my ring light. I see my laptop. I see my desk. my furry carpet. Okay. Then tune into your hearing. Listen to any noises occurring around you, from the hum of the air conditioner or footsteps across the hall. Slowly engage each sense, one by one, and bring yourself back to the moment. So, right now, I hear the hum of the air conditioner. I hear cars in the distance. I hear a clock ticking. By focusing on your senses, you're allowing yourself to bring yourself back to the moment and distance yourself from regret. Number three, practice self compassion. Learn to stop applying judgments and evaluations to yourself and to all of your actions. Don't put yourself in the category of good or bad, and instead learn to accept yourself as you are. Accept that you are learning and growing every day, and each day is a step closer being a kinder, better version of yourself. Practice self compassion by experiencing kindness, mindfulness, and connectivity with others. Practice caring for and about yourself. Treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. Care about your own thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. And when you feel like you're not good enough, ask yourself, what would I say to a friend feeling this way? So that's good, you guys. That's really good. Hey, Stephen Parker. Francis says she still doesn't have the link. So, at Francis Barnes, excuse me. We're gonna give her the link again. Okay. So, I'm hoping that everyone who wants to sign in can sign in. It could be something going on with my StreamYard account. I don't know, but let's keep moving forward. We will not allow um, those things to keep us from processing what we're processing. So, number two is moving on from regret. Apologize to anyone else involved. If your regret centers around someone who is deceased, yet involves people who are living, sort out any unsaid apologies. If you can, take action on something. Do it, even if you feel embarrassed or ashamed. It's best to say what needs to be said than to live in regret. For example, if someone in your family died and there were problems with other members of the family, sort any issues that can be sorted out. So, to share with a few, after Stefan was killed, I had so much guilt and regret that Stefan was not at my house, coming to my house, but he was going to my mother's house, and there were so many different emotions that I experienced. Um, Blame, guilt, um, to where my family relationships with my mother and my stepfather were not good. And just within the last year, I just went to them and just apologized to them for my behavior, for my feelings. And I asked them to forgive me. And let me just say that now, since Stefan's gone, oh, I could cry. Um, my relationships with my family are at an all-time high. I've never experienced so much love and acceptance and compassion and empathy. I've never been in this place with my family. Um, I love my family. I love their whole lives, and I came up with that term of endearment to my families to let them know that I'm in a place where I love their whole lives. I love everything about them and everything that they do. And though I may not agree with all things, I love their whole lives, and I want them to know that every day. So I no longer say I love you. I say I love your whole life, and and that's bigger than I love you. It means that I love your whole life, and that came as a result of me working through those emotions. So it's important to apologize to anyone else involved. Number two, it says to use regret beneficially. While regret may seem to be fully negative, there can be positive aspects to feeling regret. Regret can be functional, such as encouraging an addict to seek recovery. Regret can help you take another look at your choices and reconsider how you want to live moving forward. It can encourage you to look at your actions and see how they lead to negative consequences. Then you're left with a choice. Do you want to continue living in this way, or would you like to make a change? Regret may lead you to think about how you treat people in your life. For example, if someone you love died, you may regret not visiting enough or making time for this person. This can lead to a different approach to relationships where you want to prioritize people in your life in a way that you never have before. So, um, yeah. Number three, I'm just going to keep moving forward. It says to reframe the situation more positively. Recognize that life exists as a journey with many intersecting paths along the way. Instead of getting down on yourself or feeling like you've made mistakes, acknowledge that you've had opportunities to learn and grow. Perhaps the growth didn't happen in the past, but recognize that it is happening now. If you regret not spending enough time with someone before he or she died, acknowledge the time you did spend together. Reflect on the positive aspects of the relationship, both what you cherished and what the other person cherished. And lastly, number four, give gratitude. While you cannot change the past, you can be grateful for it. Come on now. While you cannot change the past, you can be grateful for it. Affirm the good memories and the aspects of your relationship with this person. Even though the person has died, gratitude allows you to experience and celebrate the lasting effect of the person's life in this present moment. Think about what positive aspects in this relationship, excuse me, think about what positive aspects this relationship had in your life and in this person's life. Express gratitude for the role each of you played in each other's life. Giving gratitude has many lasting physical, emotional, and social benefits. Gratitude can also block negative emotions, as it's impossible to feel both grateful and upset at the same time. So, uh, Jennifer King, I just want to acknowledge your comments. Thank you for your strength and now sharing with others how to build on theirs. I appreciate you. I'm going to post that on that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Um, you know, as I've gone, as I began walking down the path of healing, um, dealing with my grief, I have learned so many things, people, that it led me to start this broadcast. I never would have just started to share so much of my personal life, my personal emotions, my personal feelings, excuse me. I never would have thought to share so much. But because it has helped me so much, I just know that God's not a respecter of persons, and if He can fix me, He can fix anybody. And so, if me doing these simple exercises, me doing these simple affirmations to myself help me the way that they do, experiencing the loss that I've experienced and the trauma that I've experienced, then I know what they'll do for others, and so that's where the transparency comes in at, and the accountability. I hold myself accountable for a lot of things, and this actual step in the grief cycle is helping me tremendously because I'm not responsible for everything. It's not my fault what happened to my children. Yes, I've made some bad decisions in my life that may have led up to the situations that my children were in, and I regret them. However, I'm doing things differently today. I have forgiven myself, and I know my children look down on me and see that I have changed. And I thank God for that, and I think that it's important for all of us, especially the mothers, to let go of that, to let go of the guilt, to let go of it was not our call, and so I'm just happy to be sharing that with you all. Thank you so much, Jennifer King. Okay, so let's move forward. Last but not least, we're going on to, oh, wait. Oh, well, that was the end. I'm sorry. We finished. So, if anyone has any questions, they can put them in the chat and I'll respond to them. I encourage you all watching to ask questions, to share, to become a part of this because this is for all of us. And like I said, even though this platform is for mothers who experience loss of a child, it's also for people who deal with mothers who've experienced the loss of a child. Everyone knows someone. And so I just encourage you all to take part in this session. Yes, God is. Someone said God is the author and the finisher of our faith. He is indeed. So uh, recently we did some mothers and I went down to Oakland to do a documentary to tell our children's stories. And it turned out to be really helpful. We can't forsake the assembling of ourselves coming together. And though the broadcast is good, it's very important for us to meet up and to love on one another and to hug each other. And when one cries, to comfort her. And so I'd like to encourage all of you watching. When someone is going through it, don't ask what you can do. Just give them a hug. Just listen. Just be there. Um, if you're going to their home to visit and you see something arrayed, the dishes need to be done, just do them. You know, just start helping pick up. If I know that I go through a lot of times where I'm so depressed, my house will get a mess. And so I have a cousin, Shanita, when she would come over to my house and see me and see the house is a mess, she would just leave me to myself and she just would go in and just start cleaning my house. And I would come out like, oh, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, I got it, baby. Go on back to what you was doing. I look back at that. Those are such huge expressions of love and care and concern. The smallest things tend to be the biggest things. So we're at a close. That was our session for the day, going over dealing with coping and moving past grief, guilt, and regret. I hope that you all write the letter to your deceased loved one, child, family member, significant other. Write the letter and bury it in a special place. Take it to their graveside. Do whatever you want with it, but write it. You will feel so much better for it. And say the affirmations to yourself. You can always watch this again and just continually encourage yourself to learn, to grow, and to heal. I'm Mama Clark, and this was Yayo's Life, Healing with Mama Clark. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you all. Bye.